Hey guys, welcome to another year of the SAFF Podcast. I'm joined by Razeen. Welcome, Razeen. How are you? How are you keeping?
Oh, I'm so happy to be back, man. This 2 or 3 months felt like an eternity. Well, apart from the World Cup, but the
Yeah,
last few weeks felt really
it's been long without any football. We have football currently on the go at the moment. Are you watching the
good.
Community Shield?
I watched for a bit. It's okay. Arsenal are all over them. I felt like saying they're going to win the league again. Definitely too early to make such comments. Yeah, they're running away with it. It's not quite the Premier League yet, so it's like watching a preseason game.
Yeah, I'm impressed by Arsenal. I did not expect them to be so all over City. City are all over the place at the back as well. Like Donnarumma has been making a few mistakes. Their defenders seem a bit passive. But who's this new kid? This Christian Silos?
Solis, what a player, man. Greek,
Solid.
24-year-old Greek winger. He's got 2 assists already. He's looking like, dare I say, the next big thing. I don't know. It might be too soon for that. I mean, Saka didn't start, so. But yeah, at least he's making his mark, and maybe he'll get some minutes.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to look at him for FPL now. I've already checked 6.5. I mean, they've sold Trossard over the summer break, and I think Martinelli's been linked away as well with interest from Turkey. But
Yeah, not in the
one
squad
to keep
today.
an eye on. One to keep an eye on for sure. And yeah, like so much to get through and talk about. We are going to keep it simple because we've got another episode coming up in the week. And wanted to just start off with where we ended last season. A big congrats to Mohamed Wasim, who couldn't be with us this week. Winner of the SAFF League and the Community League. And yeah, big congrats to him. Razeen, what have you been getting up to this summer? What's been catching your eye in terms of football?
I'm quite happy that last season is over. It was pretty dismal for me and for both of us. I mean, it wasn't a good season, really. We've had better days. We've seen better days. But yeah, looking forward to getting back into it. I mean, Liverpool have a lot of work to get done. We don't want to keep this all about Liverpool, but it would be pretty easy to talk about Liverpool for an hour. But yeah, I really enjoyed the World Cup, actually. I watched a lot of games, actually. Like compared to usual and compared to what I expected, I watched quite a lot of football and I enjoyed it. I really made the most of the World Cup. And that was about it. Once the World Cup ended, I just like didn't really know what to do with myself on the sporting front. But yeah, I've been watching preseason as well. The times were really bad because Liverpool were in America, but thankfully the World Cup got me adjusted and used to those times. And now Liverpool are back at Anfield playing Como tonight. So yeah, it feels like all is well in the world with the Premier League just 5 days away now.
Yeah, no, that's good. I must say, I've been the opposite. I didn't take much interest in the World Cup, and I've taken a lot more interest in the preseason coming up to the Premier League. I'm just very excited for the Premier League. Obviously, the World Cup is nice. I kind of fell off straight away after Bafana's first performance. It was just a terrible performance against Mexico. Did us proud, got through to the round of 32, but ultimately lost to Canada. What was your thoughts on Bafana?
It was interesting. I mean, I was a bit disappointed after the first game, and then they grew on me a little bit, and I felt like they could have had like a killer campaign if they got past Canada, which they well could have. I mean, it feels like a lifetime away now, that game against Canada, like because there's so many games after that we caught, but a good World Cup for Bafana. I mean, they entertained us for some time. The vibe in the air was pretty good. Everyone had their Bafana shirts on every week. It was fun. It was nice seeing our country on the grandest stage, and having them as a team we could support beyond the group stages, which is not something I think a lot of us would have expected to see. Seeing a couple of goals as well, that was nice.
Yeah, I think the most disappointing thing for me about Bafana was that we know they can play well. We know they're not the best team in the world. But the first game, they went in with tactics of such a defensive-minded game that they couldn't show off who they were. And I felt like it's such a letdown. Like it's the opening game and it's the biggest stage. And these are players who probably their whole life they've been dreaming of playing in leagues like Europe, and this was their chance to showcase it. And technically, they weren't allowed to. So that was a bit disappointing for me. I felt like they should have just given it a go. They've lost 3-0 now, but like in hindsight, even if they lost 3-0 but playing well, I think it would have been better. But I mean, I'm happy they made it to the World Cup. Let's hope they perform well at the next AFCON, and then hopefully they qualify for the World Cup again. And maybe we can catch them in a quarterfinal one day.
Yeah, no, fingers crossed for that. I mean, I feel like they bounced back well, though, from that first game that you mentioned, and we did get to see them at their best. I mean, they did reach their best at some point, right? Winning that game, no one really expected. It was good. It was good seeing them at the World Cup. And what did you think of Spain winning the World Cup? I mean, it was a pretty strange final, let's say. It wasn't the best final.
I think overall Spain deservedly winners. I thought like Spain, France, probably the two best teams, then Argentina. Even though Argentina showed a lot of fight, they showed a bit too much fight, in my opinion.
England had a good World Cup as well. I mean, third place, best finished since '66. As an England fan, I'll take that. I mean, it would have been nice to see us in the final.
Yeah.
I think we could have actually won that final. I feel like it would have been a much better final if we were there. But yeah, I mean, onwards and upwards. I think Tuchel is the right man for the job, and maybe he brings football home at the next Euros. But I think we should move to club football because I think we all missed it quite a bit, and it's back now.
Yeah, no, happy to be back. What's what has been catching your eye in preseason? Oh, let's start with transfers actually. Like what are your opinion on the transfer window so far? Who Which teams have you felt like they've been doing good business, and which teams are you concerned about not doing enough business?
Is it just me, or has this window felt a little bit quiet and only really starting to pick up now? What do you think of the window in general? I mean, do you think it's because of the World Cup and all the attention being there and all the players being busy and now starting to come back? And, even Fabrizio, his posts have been pretty repetitive this window. He's talking about Barcola every single day without any update. If you think about it, he's making the same comment on the same player every single day. I've been following him, and you're seeing all the Here We Go pop-ups, and none of them are really like, wow, they've been few and far between.
I agree with you 100%. I feel like this window's been very slow. I don't even feel like it's picking up that much. Usually there's post World Cup, there's a few stars that all the teams want. There's a few eye-catching transfers, but nothing really, like it seems to be a lot of business has been done behind the scenes with players not at the World Cup and even before the World Cup. Now things will start to pick up now, but I feel like it's been a very slow transfer window for everyone. And I don't know what it's down to. There's been a lot of managerial changes. I don't know if that's part of it as well. Clubs assessing where they are with this small preseason, and then maybe now they're going to assess and try and grab a few deals in the last minute.
And watching Arsenal today, I think keeping Mikel Arteta after a very good campaign is going to really be to their benefit. Because I was just looking at the fixtures, and Liverpool's first 6 fixtures, I think, are all against teams with new managers. And Liverpool ourselves have a new manager. So that's pretty wild. I mean, it's not common that you see this where so many changes happen in the top half of the Premier League table, especially.
Yeah, no, it is crazy. I think there's something like 8 new managers, and if you count De Zerbi, it's 9. And it seems like it's a lot of big clubs. I mean, we're talking Chelsea, Liverpool, City. Like technically, United's manager is also quite fresh, even though he showed us we had him for quite a large portion of last season. Yeah, it's going to be very interesting. I'm actually also looking at the transfer market. Like it's been quite discerning for some clubs. I mean, Newcastle have lost Tonali, Guimaraes. I think Trippier, the captain, is gone as well. It's quite, and they haven't really signed known players. And then you have City now. They've probably also lost their captain. There's talks of Rodri leaving, but they've signed Elliot Anderson. And then Spurs went wild and they bought Tonali. They've got two centre backs in Senesi and I think Paul van Hek. So I think they signed Robertson as well. They've really been spending, and
after Cody Gakpo now as well.
I don't know. I hope they don't get him. I kind of want Gakpo to stay. I hope he stays. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah,
Gakpo
I think
to Spurs and
I feel like he'd fit the mold there. Be very successful there, but I do want him to stay because we are quite short on numbers going forward, But I mean, we'll see if we can get him by and Barcola both from Paris. Then it makes sense to let someone go, especially since the non-homegrown players list of ours is pretty full. I think we only have 1 slot left there or something. So we need to be a bit careful there on who we sign and who we let go of. Gakpo's links are pretty close. Apparently, he wants to go now, based on what the last reports have been saying. Let's talk a little bit about Victor Munoz, because what a player. I just watched him against Como in the first game this morning, and I'm really, really impressed. He's got blistering pace. He's very, very direct. He's like, Rio Ngamoa has his own style where he cuts back quite a lot, but Munoz is very direct. He just goes for it, doesn't hold back, and I really, really like him. And if he's going to be playing on the left-hand side, it's really interesting to see what they do with Rio, because they've been experimenting a bit with Rio on the right, and I feel like he's just not as effective. Maybe he needs more time there because he's a young player and he might have to adapt to a different position. I'm all for that, but it's good to have a bit of competition for places, and it'll be interesting to see who the new manager, Iraola, goes with in the starting 11 tonight in that second game in front of the fans at Anfield, especially with that being our last 90 minutes before the new season starts.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting. I'm keen to see these new signings as well. I haven't actually seen him play, just read a bit about him. But I mean, he was in the World Cup winning squad for Spain. He comes highly rated, and he's highly praised. Let's just hope he translates into the Liverpool squad. I think he'll be pushing the boundary for a first team player pretty soon, and that's good for the club. Competition, healthy competition, and even if he can break through and become key, I mean, I'm not going to be upset about that.
Yeah,
what are your thoughts?
Our problem is just up front. Before we move on, because Isak staying fit is super important to us. I mean, if he stays fit, it could be a good season for him. But if he doesn't, we might be having a bit of a problem with Ekitike out until early next year, potentially, because we tried Chiesa up front in preseason and he just hasn't looked it, completely out of sorts there. So we can talk a bit about strikers if you want. I mean, who are you looking at in your FPL team? Are you thinking about Isak? Is there anyone else that's like caught your eye? João Pedro, is he a must-have? Haaland at that price point with City struggling today, barely had any touches in that first half that I did catch. So there's a lot to talk about there, a lot to think about as well.
Yeah, in terms of strikers, I think we can break it down into the premium, which is just Haaland, and then your second set of expensive strikers, I think from Isak, João Pedro, Igor Thiago, and then you can go more mid-table or mid-tier strikers like your Calvert-Lewin, Robbie from Sunderland, These are the strikers that you expect to start and play, but they don't really play for teams that get the most goals. And then going down to cheap strikers, which I don't really know, like more looking at the promoted teams. So don't know who's going to start necessarily. I haven't really read too much into that. But in terms of the tier thing, I think Haaland is essential if he continues his form like he did in the World Cup. Even though he is really expensive, I don't want to go against Haaland. However, based on this Community Shield game, I'm reconsidering if he's worth it. But right now he's in my team. You spoke about Isak, and I just find him too expensive at this point. And there's too much uncertainty in terms of Liverpool's game. Like, I don't know how they're going to line up. I don't know how they're going to play. If they're scoring a lot of goals, I don't know whether he's going to be getting all of them. Is it going to be coming from other players, obviously, coming from the wingers, maybe Ngamoa or Gakpo? So I'm still, I'll be watching him, but I'm wary about him. I don't think it's worth the risk to start with him. I think it's a big gamble. And then in terms of João Pedro, I think he's amazing. I think 7.5 is a great price point, and he fits so well in the Chelsea team. He's got a lot of players around him, and I don't see him not starting at the start of the season. And then the other striker, so I have Haaland, I have João Pedro, and then the third striker is a toss-up, Calvert-Lewin or Brobbey. I'm even looking at Richarlison for the start of the season because apparently Solanke is out again. But I don't know, what are your thoughts on the striking situation? Would you risk Isak?
I think it depends, and I think we're going to get a really good idea from tonight's Liverpool game because it looks like Iraola is sticking with that 4-3-3. Starting with Isak, he's starting Gakpo on the left and he's starting Rio on the right, like he's been doing. I just saw the lineup drop right now, and that's what he's going with. So if Isak can stay fit, he's going to get goals. I like, Iraola's style of play. We've seen it at Bournemouth as well, that the strikers will score, and he's a very direct striker, target man vibes that he brings sometimes. I think he might be one to consider. I don't know if I'm going to go with him immediately. I don't think I'll go with him and Haaland. So yeah, I'm not sure if I'm going to go with Haaland, especially after today's game. What do you think? Are there any strikers that have been linked with Premier League moves that you feel would be good FPL options? Because I've seen that Arsenal have been linked with Victor Osimhen, and I feel like he would be a great FPL asset to have.
Say again, Arsenal been linked with?
Osimhen.
That would be amazing. I think Osimhen's a very complete striker. Don't know if he'd fit into Arsenal's gameplay. Like, we've seen it time and time again with Arsenal bringing in a striker. Like Gyökeres, we know he can finish and get the goals, but they seem to be, they play very differently. They don't play to their striker. They have a whole lot of possession, and then they can be very direct at some points, but they try and overload you, and the fullbacks are running over you. And so I'm not too sure where he'll fit into that Arsenal team. Even with this new Arsenal winger I'm looking at, and I'm considering him, but I'm thinking the output of goals I expect from Arsenal is not as high as I expect from City, for instance. Like, a Semenyo is way more enticing than a Saka, just based on how many goals City scores. So I haven't really looked at any of the other strikers. I don't know who else is coming in, but Osimhen will definitely be a big name into the league. I don't know if he'll come though. Do you what are the chances that Arsenal sign him?
I don't know. I just been seeing a few posts here and there. The commentators talk about it during the Shield game as well. And obviously, if Gyökeres was to leave, they'd be in need of a striker again. And I feel like, he had a good campaign. He scored his goals, but he wasn't really there for the big games, and he didn't really turn up all the time. So he almost got these goals when everyone else also scored and when they were winning anyway. So I feel like maybe it was just his first season, so maybe he'll turn it up a notch and have a great campaign if he stays. But if they were to sign another striker, I'd keep my eyes peeled. But also, you switch from attack. Well, you stay in attack, but you move from the forward position to the midfield position. And if we can have a fully fit Bukayo Saka throughout the season, then I definitely think I'd be considering him in my team.
I know you said you don't have a first draft, but is there any player that you would consider essential in your team going into the season?
It's always difficult to bet against Haaland, but I just feel like today's game will throw everyone off a little bit, and that's what I really like. I'm actually happy to see that, because in all the first drafts that I've seen from all the experts around the world, Haaland was there. Even at the price point that he's coming in at, which is record-breaking and insane, in my opinion, he's been there. So if you see now a few more teams that go without him, it'll be nice to see how they break him, how they break it up a little bit. Bruno, do you think Bruno's essential? I mean, Bruno's in a lot of drafts as well.
I've been contemplating it. Like Bruno, you see, I think Bruno's going to be very different to last season in the sense that the start of last season he had a lot of defensive contribution points, so he was ticking over, and then at the end of the season he had a lot of assists. All came through Casemiro goals. Feels like that, but I think this season with Tielemans coming in and they've signed that Santos from Chelsea, I think like Bruno's going to have a lot more of an attacking role, so we'll lose those defensive contributions. But if United continue to score, I can't see Bruno not being in the points, whether it be assists or goals. The difference between Bruno and Haaland is I think you can actually cover up Bruno with Mbeumo. It's a possibility. I'm not saying it's guaranteed, but I feel like there's an alternative option and you can save money. With Haaland, I don't know if Semenyo will cover Haaland. Like, I don't know if there's any alternative to Haaland. Like, it's either you backing against Haaland, no other alternative. Like it's just you're spreading money around and hoping that the rest of the team is good enough. So I think it's a big risk. But I've seen a lot, like you've mentioned a lot of the social media guys posting all their teams, and everything really contains Bruno and Haaland. And I just want to go on to the point of all these people posting the teams, what has come to be known as the template teams. And now everybody's seemingly going to bench boost game week 1, which is something we've been advocating since 2024, 2025 season. So I don't want to say like everyone's copying us, because we've copied some random guy who we noticed. Shout out to the famous 5 team from the 24-25 season. But I mean, we did this last season. I did this last season at the start of the season. And I wanted to do it again this season. And I think anybody who's looking at it who's not sure why, I just want to have a quick chat about it. Bench boost game week 1 is a good strategy. I mean, you get your chip out the way. You have a full 15-set team of players you know you're going to play. It's always hard to predict the first set of players. So go safe, pick safe, and play the team bench boost. And then try and pick mid-tier players all around. So you do have to sacrifice the premiums. But like, for instance, if you have a player like Mbeumo, Bruno Fernandes, these are high, like 8 and 12. They're very easy to drop to lower value players. And after game week 1, we'll get a better idea of who's playing, who's in the lineups, which 4.0 defenders are playing, which 4.5 defenders are getting defensive contributions. And then you can drop your players down, save money where you can, and evolve your team from there. So I think it's a great idea. Because everybody's doing it, I don't know if I'm going to do it now. But I think I think it's a very good strategy. I don't know if you're going to be doing it, Razeen. What are your thoughts on it? And just in general, just the chips. We'll get into the template team after that.
Yeah, no, it's an interesting one. I mean, it was an interesting one when you did it and it paid off. And when you did it, I thought about it. I'm like, next season we're doing this, And now everyone is doing it. And because everyone is doing it, I'm having second thoughts about doing it again. So we'll see. I mean, it's always a bit of a risk knowing who's going to play, especially, in preseason's a little bit all over the place. Like this one has been so many changes here, so many changes there. But I think once everyone is talking and once that buzz is there, and once you hear all the press conferences take place on Wednesday and Thursday and Friday as well before the deadline, you will have that idea and you will be able to say, okay, maybe we can go with this, So I think now with those early drafts, try and set a team that you can look at that has a good 11, not think too much about the bench yet. And then when you do decide, okay, I'm going to play it now, then you can just downgrade those premiums, like you're saying, to mid-price players, sort the bench out, and then downgrade to the 4 millions or the 4.5 millions that play and do well, and upgrade the other players to those premiums and get those ones back into your team. But I do want to come back to your point about Bruno being more easily covered than Haaland, because I think that stems a lot, that thought stems a lot from years and years of Pep Roulette, right? We've watched City making so many changes and we've watched Haaland being the main man for so many years, but we're not really sure of how Enzo Maresca is going to play his game and the players he's going to pick and which players are going to play well under him and which ones are not. And I feel like with Bruno last season, a lot of us tried switching him up for Cunha and Mbeumo and didn't get as much success. We realized how important he was. So maybe it could be a situation or a scenario that could arise where Haaland could be more easily covered. Maybe Foden steps up, or maybe Semenyo steps up, and one of these players play 90 minutes every game, and you're like, okay, maybe this guy can work, and Haaland's not really seeing much of the ball, like was the case in today's game. And maybe Bruno just ups his game even more, if that's possible, from a phenomenal season last year, and carries on, and he becomes a must-have. So I feel like, anything can happen, and where the bench boost could actually work is in a situation like this, where you've got two premiums that you're not too sure about yet. You're not sure which one you're going to need more than the other. So you go with the mid-price players that are going to play. You go with all 15 of them. You kill it in the first week, get a good above-average score, and then slowly bring in the players that do perform well.
I agree with you. It's going to be very interesting. I'm really keen to see your draft, Razeen, because you always come up with the out and about from nowhere drafts. But we'll be looking forward to it. I mean, even keen to see Mamadou Seam's draft as a reigning champion. We're going to have to try and take him down. But yeah, like, I don't want to keep you too long. I think, like, for the viewers who are joining us, like, we hope you follow us through the season, because later this week we're going to be doing predictions. We're going to be looking at game week 1, and we're going to be looking at differentials to that template team. The template team we'll discuss as well in the next episode. We don't want to overload you guys with things that are still quite far away. I mean, even though it's next week, so many transfers happen, injuries, and still a lot of players coming back that have just got back from the World Cup. So we'll keep it at that. Razeen, any final thoughts or words?
I mean, before our game week 1 first drafts are even up, we can all say that this season we won't be having Mo Salah in our teams. It does hurt a little bit, doesn't it?
Yeah. Season 1 without Salah, it's terrible. I feel like a hole is in me. Like, FPL is not the same without him, for sure. And it's odd. Like, it's a season without Pep as well.
No.
Like, they've been focal points of FPL for the last 4 or 5 years. Pep a bit longer with his Pep Roulette. So yeah, like, but I'm sure there'll be another star coming through. Hopefully, like, someone essential that just cannot stop scoring. Don't know where it's going to come from. I don't know if it's Bruno this year, I mean, could be.
I hope not.
But yeah, we'll get into predictions because I think United are on a lot of predicted lists. So we'll get in predictions next week. But yeah, Razeen, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you later this week.
No, done. Thanks, Bilal. Thanks to everyone watching, and we're looking forward to a great season. Good to be back.